we are still working with fractions, we're going to start multiplying with fractions. And we're going to use models to do that today. So on number 1, we see an expression 2 times 1/2. So to draw my model, I'm going to draw 2 holes. I'm going to use circles. If you want to use squares or rectangles, that's fine, okay? I'm using circles on this one. So, 2 whole circles. Go ahead and draw your 2 holes. Divide my circles, and the denominator from my fraction is going to tell me how to divide my circles. So, how many parts should each circle have? 2. So that means I'm just going to divide them in half. So I have 2 parts for each of my holes. The numerator from my fraction will tell me how many parts in each hole to shade. So how many parts in each of my holes do I need to shade?
1.
Can we agree that each part represents 1/2 of a whole? How many halves do I have shaded?
2.
2 halves, right? So to write 2 halves, I'm going to write 2 over 2. That's 2 halves. What is 2 halves equal to? 1 whole. Do you agree that if I put the shaded parts together, that would give me 1 whole circle? Yes. My answer is 1. 2 times 1/2 equals 1. And if we think about it, half of 2 is 1, right? Half of 2 is 1. I'm going to highlight my answers. So 1 is what I will highlight. That's my final answer. It's in the simplest form. Okay, on number 2, they give me the model, and I have to write the expression and then solve. Okay? Looking at your model, how many holes are there?
4.
4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to multiply it times a fraction. How many parts, don't give me a fraction, just you're giving me a number. How many parts does each whole have in it? How many parts is it divided into? It's divided into 4 parts. So that's going to be my denominator. Each whole is divided into 4 parts. That's going to be the denominator of my expression. My numerator is how many parts are shaded in each hole? 1. So my 1 goes on top. So 4 times 1/4. What do y'all think I'm going to do to solve? Think about what we did on number 1.
Add all of them up.
I'm going to see how many total shaded parts I have. How many total shaded parts do I have? 4. What size is each of those parts?
4.
It's a 4th, right? So how many 4ths do I have?
4.
So how will I write that?
4 over 4.
4 over 4 equals what?
1.
1. Not too bad, right? Let's open up and look at number 3. Huh? So our expression is going to be 3 times. How many parts is each whole divided into? 5 parts. So that's my numerator or denominator? Denominator. Where does that go? Top or bottom? Bottom. How am I going to find out my numerator?
How many are shaded?
How many are shaded in one whole, right? Not total. How many are shaded in one whole? How many are shaded in one whole?
2.
2. So my expression is what?
3 times 2.
3 times 2 fifths. Okay, so I'm ready to solve. How do I solve? What do I do to solve?
See how many shaded and all.
See how many what, Caitlin?
How many are shaded? How many pieces are shaded in all of them?
How many pieces are shaded in all of them? Y'all tell me.
6.
6 what?
6
6 fifths. How will I write that?
6 over 5.
6 over 5, that's 6 fifths. Good job. Is that my final answer?
No.
What do I need to do?
Simplify.
Simplify. How do I simplify?
Divide
I'm turning it into a mixed number by doing what, Chris?
Dividing by 5. 6 divided by 5.
Okay, so what method do I use to divide?
Needle.
If I have an improper fraction, remember that's the number on top is larger, then I'm going to use the Nito method to divide and create a mixed number. So we have numerator on the inside, denominator on the outside. How many times will 5 go into 6? Once. What is 1 times 5?
5.
How many do I have left over?
1.
So to make my mixed number, the 1 on top of my bracket is my whole number. So what is that? 1. My remainder becomes my what? My numerator, and then my denominator is still 5. Is 1 and 1 fifth simplified?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to work with your partners on number 4. You have to create the model and solve, and then we'll discuss it as a whole group. I'm only going to give you about 2 to 3 minutes to work on it, and then we'll go over it together. Kenny, are you finished?
Oh, yes.
Group one's got it, group 2, 5, 6. Y'all all finished at table 4.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Table 3, we got it. Okay, let's go ahead. You can check along with me. 1/3 times 8. Kenny, what's the first thing that I need to do to draw my model? Okay, so I'm going to draw 8 circles. And how many parts do I divide them into? 3 parts. I shouldn't be talking still. And how many are shaded?
1.
1 in each of them. And then what am I going to do to solve? Now that I have my model, how will I get my answer? 8 over 3. How did you know to put 8 over 3? Sadie? And each piece is what? Represents what? 1/2? Marley? Logan? 1/3. Each piece equals 1/3, and I have 8 of them. I have 8/3, which is what I think y'all were trying to say. Is that my answer?
Yes, but you need to simplify.
I need to simplify. What am I going to do to simplify? Nathan?
Nito.
Use Nito. When I use Nito, what am I doing?
Numerator.
Well, I'm dividing and I'm doing what?
Numerator inside, denominator outside.
Numerator inside, denominator outside. What's that going to give me though? What is my
The
end product
simplified
going to
fraction.
be? Not a simplified fraction.
Mixed
It's a
number.
mixed number. Mixed number. How many times does 3 go into 8?
2 times.
2 times. What is 2 times 3?
65.
How many do I have left over? 2. So what's my mixed number?
2 and 2/3.
2 and 2/3. Is that simplified?
Yes.
I don't know, is it? Y'all tell me. I forgot my math. It is? You sure?
Yes.
Like 100% positive? Let's stay looking at number 4 a little bit longer. How many thirds would it take to make one whole? 3. Okay, so let me circle groups of 3/3, okay? Here's one group of 3/3. Does that make one whole?
Yes.
Okay, hold up a 1 for me. Okay, here's another group of 3/3. Is that another whole?
Yes.
How many holes do I have now?
2.
Okay, so hold up 2. Do I have 3 more thirds of the circle?
No.
No, so I can't make another hole. What is this? 2/3. Is that what I got? 2 and 2/3? Yeah. So it's just an easy way to check if you did correctly. I want y'all to flip now to number 9. Okay, number 9. Maria was making her mom's favorite cookies for a surprise party. Over 40 people were expected to attend. So Maria decided to triple her cookie recipe. How much flour would Maria need if the original recipe called for 2/3 cup of flour? Is there information in there that I don't need?
Yes. Yes.
What is it?
Over 40 people were expected to attend.
It's the first we need this. The first.
What information do I not need?
The first.
So I don't need that Maria was making her mom's favorite cookies for a surprise party? No? You do?
You do need it.
And I need everything else?
Yeah, you don't need over 40 people were expected to attend.
You do need that, but you mark out the first sentence.
What am I going to do with the 40 people?
Nothing.
She said she was gonna triple the amount.
Madison?
She's gonna triple the recipe, then that's gonna be 3 because
Right. Each recipe that she makes, every time she makes the recipe to do the cookies, she's going to use 2/3 of a cup of flour. It says that she's going to triple her recipe. So she's basically making her recipe 3 times, right? Because the word triple means 3. Do I need to know that over 40 people are expected to attend?
No.
I don't. Not to find out how much flour she's going to need. So I can scratch that out. Over 40 people. I don't want to get confused and multiply something with 40 when that doesn't really answer the question, right? The question wants to know how much flour to make the cookies. I don't need to know the people that are going. All I need to know is that each recipe calls for 2/3 of a cup, and I'm going to make that recipe 3 times. So what would be my expression?
3 times 2/3.
Okay, so 3 times 2/3. That's my expression. What do y'all think I need to draw to solve? 3 circles. How many parts do I need to divide them into? 3. How many parts, table 6, will I shade for each hole?
2.
2. Where did y'all get the 2?
From the numerator.
From the numerator. Ethan, after I have 2/3 of each of my 3 circles shaded, how many total parts are shaded? 6. And what do I do with that 6? Who can help me out with what I do with that 6? Sadie? I have 6 parts that are shaded. What do I do with that? What does that 6 represent? 6 what? What does one piece represent? 1/3. And if I have 6 of those, I have what? 6/3. So that's my total parts that are shaded. 8. And what will I do with 6/3? What will I do with, what kind of fraction is 6/3? I'm going to divide. What kind of fraction is it? Who can help us out? Valeria? I'm going to use Nito to change my improper fraction to a what? To a mixed number. So if I'm using Nito, what do I need to write out?
3 divided by 6.
What do I need to write to do, Nita?
3 divided by 6 by
3 divided by 6?
6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3.
6 divided by 3. Remember, numerator inside,
Denominator outside.
denominator outside. So 6 divided by 3. Carissa, how many times does 3 go into 6?
2.
2 times 3 is what?
6.
How many's left over?
0.
What's my mixed number?
2. Just 2 because it's 2 and 0 thirds. And that can't be a fraction.
So 2 and 0 thirds. If I have 0 thirds, I don't have anything, do I?
No.
So really, I just have 2 wholes, yes? What do I need to do before I'm finished? Y'all lose? Well, I do need to see if it needs to be simplified, but if it's a whole number, can I assume that we're simplified?
Yeah.
Simplified? Yes. What do y'all lose points on a lot?
Labeling.
What am I going to label it? To what?
Cookie.
Oh,
Not cookies. 2
Flour.
Cups of flour.
2 cups of flour. If you just tell me 2 flour, I don't know how much flour. 2 what flour? 2 bags of flour? 2 cups? 2 tablespoons? I don't know. You have to tell me the measurement. Okay, what am I measuring? Cups. Highlight your full answer. Let's do number 10 together. Byron enjoyed sharing with his friends. He gave 1/9 of his Pokemon cards to each of his 7 friends. Table 6. What fraction of his trading cards did Byron give away? What would be the equation that I would use to solve? What's my expression? Huh?
7 and 1/9.
I'm going to just write 7 and 1/9.
7 times 1.
7 times 1/9. I have to take my 7 whole friends times each of them gets 1/9 of the cards, yes? So I want to know what fraction of his trading cards did he give away.
1/9.
So, not there yet. He gave 1/9 to each of his 7 friends. So, what will I draw for my model? What's the first thing I need to draw to set up my model? 7 circles. I'm going to use squares this time. So I'm going to draw 7 squares. You should be drawing 7 squares also. We're doing this together. This is part of your assignment. Miss Marshall is doing it with you, so you know you're going to get it right if she's doing it with you, yes? So if my teacher is doing my homework with me, I would be writing all of it down too. That's just me. What do I need to do to my 7 holes? What do I need to do to my 7 holes? Cadence? Divide them into 9 parts. Is it kind of hard to divide circles and squares into 9 parts?
Yeah.
A little bit, right? So I'm gonna kind of cheat. Okay? Yay. I don't, but thank you. I'm going to kind of cheat. Instead of dividing them into 7 parts, because that's pretty tricky. Remember, I'm not an artist. I just teach math, so it would be really, really messy. I'm going to use X's to represent parts. So I'm going to draw 9 X's inside of each of my squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That represents my 9 parts that my square is divided into. 1 whole divided into 9 parts. And I'm going to do that in all 7 boxes that I have. divide it nice and neat into 9 parts. Knock yourself out, but if you're like me, then I would go ahead and just use the X's. 9 X's in each of your 7 holes represents our 9 parts. Okay. So now that I have my 7 holes divided into 9 parts, what do I need to do? Kim. I'm going to shade in 1 part of each hole. So I'm going to highlight one of my X's. That's shading in my 1 part of each hole, okay? So I have 1 here, another one. I'm shading 1 part of each of my holes. 1 part of each of my holes. Listen closely to the question before you answer. What fraction does each part represent? 1 ninth. How many of those ninths are shaded? 7. So what fraction does my model represent that's shaded?
7.
What is it, Addison? 7 ninths. Do I need to do anything to 7 ninths?
No.
Why am I not going to use veto on it?
Because
Because it's not an improper fraction. Do I need to simplify it? It's already simplified. So am I ready to highlight my answer?
Yes.
No, why not?
Label.
I have to label it. What am I going to label it? 7 ninths.
Pokemon
What?
cards.
Pokemon cards or trading cards, either or, right? So label it. And now can we highlight?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, I want you to look at number 11. Look at number 11. I want you to work it out by yourself, not with your group. By yourself. I'll give you a couple of minutes. So go ahead and get started on number 11. Nobody should be talking because you're not working with groups. Okay, guys, let's look at number 11. What is the expression that you use?
1/8 times 5.
5
times 1/8.
You can write it 1/8 times 5 or 5 times 1/8. Both is correct, okay? Does not matter. How did you draw your model? What's the first thing you drew?
4 squares.
5 circles or 5 squares. Now what?
Draw in your X's or
Divide into 8.
Divide them into 8. So you can either draw 8 X's, or to divide a circle into 8, I'm just going to draw a cross and then an X. And that gives me 8 parts. Cross and an X. You could do it however you want it, guys. As long as you have 8 parts that we are assuming are all equal parts representing 1/8. How many parts are shaded in each hole?
1.
Now what?
Add all the shaded parts together.
I add up all the shaded parts together and they represent what?
5/8.
5/8. Okay, what else? Simplify. What is it simplified? You can't simplify. It's already in simplest form. So it's 5/8. 5/8 what?
3.
What does the question ask you?
Paint a queen.
So 5/8 of her room. If you want to be really specific, you can say of her room is clean. The of her room tells me 5/8 what? It's 5/8 of her room. If I say 5/8 clean, 5/8 what was clean?
The kitchen, cabinet.